to Blueprint Radio, a guide to fitness, health, and wealth, brought to you by Mass Mutual Miami, where your financial health is our #1 priority. And as always, I am Karen Garcia, here with my amazing co-host, Dr. Scott Kjelson.
Hello, hello.
And Mr. Tony Thomas, celebrity fitness enthusiast, is back with us.
Happy to be back.
We missed you. We missed
We
you.
missed you
Miss you
and
guys too. Miss
his
you guys too.
lovely arms.
Yeah, she missed his arms. I miss his personality.
That's right.
That is a good answer.
Well, as always, our goal is simple: to educate, enlighten, and hopefully entertain each and every one of you on how fitness, health, and wealth can definitely improve your overall success.
Yes, yes. And today we're going to be talking about fads. And here at the Blueprint Radio Show, we're all about the anti-fads, all right? Everyone experiences fads, whether you're in the health, wealth, or fitness category. To elaborate, a fad is a wide-based enthusiasm for something that is short-lived. Now, if you invest in something that's short-lived, you're gonna get short-lived results, all right? So anything that guarantees you a major benefit with little or no effort is typically a fad. How do you identify this, all right? Something that is too good to be true is typically how it goes. I mean, you get major attention through marketing, different various social media streams, and people suddenly begin to believe. And you gotta watch out for that. You gotta look for words like immediate results or instant abdominals, rapid weight loss. All these things do not happen that way. They don't occur that way. You have to take time and put together a plan of action to get to those results. Not all fads are bad, and I'm gonna show you in the Tony's Takeaway how you can work these fads into your system and get some benefits from some of these fads. Have you ever been stung by a fad?
Never. I mean, look at me.
Of course not.
Of course. And we always hear about this. I mean, exactly what you just spoke about, the weight loss concept. We always see the $50 weight loss product in a box, and everybody wants a one-size-fits-all, easy button answer. Hopefully Office Depot doesn't sue me for that. But ideally, they want an easy fix instead of doing the work. And we always speak about this. We constantly speak about how the work, the ethics, and all that has to be behind it. Ideally, we always say this, abs are made in the kitchen, but guess what? So is a healthy inside made at the gym, right?
Absolutely.
Working out,
That's right.
walking. We spoke about that last week with Dr. Robert
That's
Lippman.
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Nutrition is huge, fitness is huge, but the fads, we see this all the time, and I have to deal with it all the time in my industry. I mean, I'm sure you do as well.
Oh, yeah.
We speak about a little education behind some of these things. A lot of these fads diet, they cut carbs. Especially we work with some bridal parties. What do you want to do when you get married? You want to
Quickly lose weight.
to
fit
weight.
into my dress.
Yes, and what happens is you get on these fad diets, they cut carbs, you lose all this water weight, right?
Right.
And what happens is you see results, and people are happy. But guess what? Then you go into the cake, the filet mignon.
Because you're craving,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Because that's what happens to me.
Well, remember, you're giving yourself back what you've been craving,
Oh.
right? And then you fall slowly down this trend. But the idea is a controlled, balanced diet, reducing inflammation and again, catering to those cravings. So it's all about balance. Now, one thing again, from the education side, I talk about leptin. Leptin is a gene, but it also is a protein, right? So the protein is a satisfaction gene, okay? So leptin increases with fat cells because our normal body is used to absorbing and storing, right?
Okay.
So leptin increases with fat cells, large fat cells. And then as it increases, it then balances off with other neuropeptides to reduce hunger and consume. But what happens is people then consume too much. They have these binge diets, these fad diets, or these fad take-ons, my Sunday cheat meal, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then what happens is you get resistance of leptin. So no more is your body satisfied. And then what happens is you eat and you're still hungry.
Well, I will tell you from personal experience, and I'm not embarrassed to admit it, that's my issue. I say, how can it be? Is it mental? I'm really hungry, and I'm thinking, it can't just be mental, because I actually feel hunger pangs.
Right.
And I'm like, how is this possible? It's probably...
It's the same thing. And ideally what happens is as you gain and store so much fat, fat releases cytokines, which are inflammation markers.
Cytokines?
Cytokines.
Okay.
So inflammation is now floating around your body.
Right.
And your leptin is now combining with these and now floating around as well. So if the leptin's not ever received by the receptor,
Right.
it becomes resistant. So then we constantly go on this cascade of inflammation, being hungry and cravings, and fad diets to try to release those or control that, which then takes us back to failure.
Vicious
People fail,
circles.
and that's what the problem with fads are, is that people then fail. Only 5% about people that go on these fad diets actually see the results and keep their weight off.
Right.
So think about that for a second. If you have now 95% of people failing, the mentality of I can't lose weight is going to be
Right.
very
the
prevalent.
psychological aspect that goes into that is very negative, and it weighs on that.
Exactly. And again, I talk about the one size does not fit all, right? It's about individualization. It's about knowing you. And did you know that 35 to 60% of your genes affect obesity, weight gain, and your drive for hunger?
You know, I didn't know that, but I've heard you talk about it, and it completely makes sense. Because I have, for example, a friend of mine, and I won't name names, but we've always talked about the fact that she's always battled being heavy. But the truth is, she's always eaten better than I have. And I'm heavy now due to X, Y, and Z factors that we've talked about. But before, I was a rail thin, and I ate whatever I wanted. So I always used to think, okay, genetically, she was predisposed to have to battle it.
Right.
I think, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so she's got to learn how to work within what her genetic
Correct.
makeup is.
Correct.
So that's why one size doesn't fit all.
Right.
And you were talking about the exercise fads. I got to tell you, my favorite one, I've never done it. I have to admit, I've never done it, but I considered it. The one that it works out for you, that, that band.
In the 60s. They have the band that just keeps on going like that.
Yeah, and you're like, what is
The
that?
electrical stimulation
And
for
the
the abs.
stimulus- and
The stimulation one is a new one. That's the new era.
That's my
No,
favorite.
the
you
new
wear
era.
them while you talk. You just, what's wrong with you? Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're tempted as a woman who's looking at herself going, oh, I gotta lose some weight. I've never done it because I know that just isn't the right way to do it, but boy, it's tempting.
$5.99, and your second one's free.
Well, let me jump into a little bit of the anti-fad concept with the wealth part, right? The finance, you know, that's my favorite topic.
That's our favorite topic too, by the way.
Exactly. Got to acquire it, get it, keep it coming.
And keep it. Well, it's the same concept. I mean, I feel like sometimes I want to give a specific nugget that's so special, and the truth is, it's not that unique. It's the same concept, which is there is no quick fix, and one size does not fit all when it comes to finance. So there are fads in the financial world as well. Let me give you some examples. Maybe some of you have heard at a cocktail party or with friends, hey, what are you doing for your kids for college planning? And you hear 529s, right? Have you guys heard of 529 plans?
Yeah.
Okay, or Florida prepaid. Well, nothing wrong with those products, but guess what? People are talking about them because they've heard of it, there's great marketing, and that's what their friends are doing. And a lot of people purchase those products for college planning based on the fact that they've heard their friends about it.
Right.
So people don't understand that maybe a 529 is not the perfect fit for your child or your upcoming child. So another example of a financial fad would be in the 90s, for example, the VULs, Variable Universal Life Insurance. Again, nothing wrong with that product if you understand it.
Right.
Problem is, most people didn't understand it, but it was the hot thing. It was well marketed, and the salespeople on commission, of course, were pushing it left and right without having the client understand it. Well, guess what? Fast forward now to 2015, a lot of those VULs, not all, are blowing up. And what do I mean by that? People purchase them thinking, oh, I have permanent life insurance. They did not understand that that death benefit, the life insurance, was directly tied to the market. And the problem is the market tanked, as we all know, a few years back. What happened was those guarantees went out the window. So people thought, oh, if I pass away at 89, I'll have a death benefit. When I run now something called an in-force ledger, which is the actual snapshot of what that product is doing, I say to people, guess what? In your particular case, when you turn 83, unless you dump in X amount, that life insurance is no longer there. Wow. Again, nothing wrong with the product. We can sell it, but people have to understand it. That's an example of a fad in finance.
You know, I see this. I'm sorry. I see the same things in pharmaceutical sales.
Okay.
Because you have a lot of people that are selling a product,
Right.
but don't fully understand it themselves.
Right.
They know X, Y, Z, but they don't know A, B, C, like the basics, like actually how it can turn over or what the causes are if whatever happens.
Right.
And again, it's you're having these salespeople go out there and sell it, and that's why we go back to the fact that it's all about who your planner is.
Absolutely, and the planner, the key is whether it's with fitness, health, or wealth, has to, if your planner is not asking questions about who you are and immediately goes to products, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from both angles. Like you guys have definitely hitting some key points. But what I grasp, and I'm thinking what the viewers should grasp, is this: you get somebody who understands and can actually individualize the product for you.
Yep.
In either category, whether it be in fitness, health, or wealth, you got to get someone who can understand it, help you understand it, and show you individually what you need to be doing. All right, today's anti-fad segment was brought to you by Genomic, improving your quality of life through personalized testing.
Hello, hello. We're here back with our amazing guest today, Carrie Friedman, founder of Fashion Pursuit. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Great.
Thank you for being here, Carrie.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, thank you for joining us. I know you're taking a special time out. I wanted to just lead off. I know I'm going to get into what you do exactly, but I want to lead off. You represent a lot of designers and also different shows, if I'm correct.
That is correct.
Okay. One of the designers that we're actually going to be working with very soon, coming up, and we want to drop that surprise on you guys very soon. Julian Chang said, "Style is not based on brand names, labels, or latest season's must-haves. Style is within yourself." And I think that correlates directly with our fad or anti-fad subject today.
I would actually agree with you. I've known Julian. I know his collections, and he is consistent with his clients, and his designs appeal to the demographics that keep bringing his clients back to him.
Right.
For that same reason, because I believe that it's not the anti-fad. I'm actually in agreement with you that classic clothing is timeless, and it's these fads that come in and out of fashion that will come in and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in music, the one-hit wonder.
That's absolutely correct. I
Right.
agree. Yes,
I'm
absolutely. I agree.
I'm trying to bring George back. You know, it's not
Well,
working
you
very
know.
well for
Don't
me,
do it,
but,
Scott. Don't do it.
Please don't.
You know, the European look kind of thing.
Yeah.
No.
But tell us a little bit about Fashion Pursuit, please.
Okay, so Fashion Pursuit was created about a year ago. My vision was, because I am a fashion consultant and deal with up-and-coming designers, to have their lines marketable for sale. I decided that I wanted to bring fashion globally. So I came up with an idea of Fashion Pursuit, which would take it to different islands or places where people would normally not get the chance to see the fashion in the United States. So that is how Fashion Pursuit came about, and I formed a partnership with Resorts World Bimini because I fell in love with the
Nice.
island, and I felt that this was a great way, being 50 miles from Miami, to have a fashion show on their property.
Fantastic.
I
So
love it.
can we tease?
Sure.
Can
go
we
ahead.
tease,
Go ahead.
Scott? So we are really excited about joining you and Fashion Pursuit on this adventure. We're going on Resorts World.
That's correct.
And
The super fast shuttle.
yeah, on the super fast to Bimini,
That's correct.
and we're going to be covering this amazing event. So we look forward to having a little footage from this for you guys, right?
I'm very excited. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. I have another designer coming by the name of Get It Stoneware. Fabulous swimwear cover-ups that
Nice.
actually are not in the market. So she's launching her line there.
Is this women's based?
It is women's.
You know, this brought back. I want to just say
sorry.
something. We had a guest on a
Next
couple.
show
of-
will be men's.
Oh no, keep it women. Come on now. we had a guest on a couple weeks ago with his resort wear line
right,
too,
that's right,
Mr.
Loaded
Carlos
Docks,
Boozer,
yeah.
right? What was the name?
Loaded Docks.
Loaded Docks, and that just got me thinking. That's a similar.
That could be an awesome switch for the men's
would be
side.
great.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Wait till you see it. We've got to show her this,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Great.
Um,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm looking forward to Bimini.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a little tan, actually. So
I'm looking forward to
work
your
and
tan, too.
Unfortunately,
vacation
I
at
don't
the
need
same
Does it
one,
get better
but it's
than that?
okay.
I want to ask you a quick question, a little bit about you. Because you and I were talking a few minutes ago, and I find it fascinating. First of all, I don't know about you guys, but most of us that are not in the fashion world, we think, oh, it's a designer, and he or she did it all, and they just surrounded themselves with some business folks, but it's all them. And the truth is, it's a lot more than that. So tell me a little bit about what you can do for a designer to take their career to another level, and also a little bit about your family's background. And
Perfect. So let's start with what I do for designers. So what I work with is designers that are just coming out, and maybe they have a vision of what they want, but don't have the education part to actually put a collection together, which is very necessary for sale. So what I do is I work with them, source fabric for them, have their patterns made, their clothing made, their sample line made, lookbooks, line sheets. The next step, obviously, from there, they can go to trade shows, have sales reps, and that is what I do for them. In regards to what you're asking about my
Yeah.
family, I was born into this industry. My father owned a double knit factory in Philadelphia that provided textiles for Jones, New York, Village of Sportswear. You guys are too young to remember that.
No, but I know what you're
so
talking
we moved
about.
to Miami because my family decided they were going to be apparel manufacturers, and we were for Donna Karan, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, and so that's how I was raised. into
There's
this
lineage
industry.
here. This is
Yeah.
why I
Oh,
was
yeah.
saying
This
it.
is
It's
a
not
long
just
time.
you decided to get into
No,
this.
no, no.
It's
and I
in
my
your
degree
blood.
It absolutely
So your
is.
talent, you almost create like a blueprint for
Yes,
a lot of
that's
the
absolutely
designers
correct.
when they
Yes,
come in.
that's
Well,
absolutely
that's
correct.
awesome.
that's exactly what we
great
do on
analogy.
every angle.
Right.
That's
Love it.
right.
That's absolutely correct.
Fantastic. So, if you guys don't mind, a little bit about, again, the anti-fad. You went back to, for example, Julian's quote, and I thought that was fascinating. So, what is it with you, for example, if I'm an up-and-coming designer and I have a great idea and I say to you, oh, I've got this amazing concept and it's going to be this off-the-shoulder thing with this neon, and it's a fad, let's be honest.
I could answer to that.
Okay.
Because I have a client, I have a client now that I'm not going to mention his name.
Okay.
A young men's denim line, which is fabulous. But I have to sit with them because designers are artists.
Yeah.
And so I come in from a business standpoint and what is feasible to manufacture and say, you know something, you can't have that fad like that because it's not going to stay. So a lot of these designs, although, every season you have to have a new collection
Sure.
or add to your collection. So, but it has to be something that creates you so that your signature style stays.
Right. I've seen that. I've seen actually where even in the urban market, you'll see a lot of the designers. They almost off the wall with the
Absolutely.
patches and different things like that.
Right.
And I remember like when I was younger, I'd just hop on the next one, and I was like,
right.
until I got older, I was like, how are some of these businesses staying in? Because
don't.
yeah, that's
They
what
don't.
happens.
That's the
yeah,
answer.
We
They don't.
forget who they were, I think.
Absolutely.
Right.
They don't.
Okay.
Well, look in the athletics. I mean, you see so many different types of shoes,
Yeah.
but people know Jordan, for instance, for its specific
Correct.
style,
Right.
and everybody wants it. Everybody wants to have, and you know what's funny is that if you have the originals or the second or the third, different generations, you want those. It's not about the newest one; it's about those right there. And I think
I would
that's
agree with that. And the same thing holds true for vintage clothing. So if anybody invested, years ago with Halston
Oh.
or Versace or Chanel in the '60s, I mean, these clothes have value. So I actually agree with that.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
true. I mean, the Halston, as a woman, I am not very fashion forward. I need a lot of
Yes.
help. But as far as the Halston or
Halston.
Halston look that's a timeless classic
Absolutely
look
correct.
that I don't care if this dress was in the 60s.
absolutely
That's the
correct.
dress I want to wear to
Right.
the next big
And that is-
function.
that's absolutely correct.
And that says something about the brand, the
It
market, the
absolutely
design.
does. Correct.
So that's pretty fantastic. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect at this Bimini event that you're doing. What can we expect if I'm just the average person who wants to buy a ticket and go?
Okay, so what we are doing for that is it's going to be in a great fashion show on Saturday evening. I believe the show starts around 9 o'clock now, featuring a jewelry designer, as I said, Get It Stoneware, and featuring Julian Chang. There'll be a lot of questions and answers. People will be
Nice.
able to be up close and personal with Julian, being able to purchase his clothing as a trunk show, as with all the designers that will
Wow.
be there on the ship.
Wow.
Fantastic.
So
I'm
we're
excited.
really, really excited, yes.
we have to get Boozer on with
Oh
that.
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're out of time, but we really are grateful for your time. We look
Perfect.
forward to being on this boat with you.
We're all excited
And
to have you.
yeah,
Thank you.
so Miss Carrie Friedman, founder of Fashion Pursuit.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really do
Thank you,
appreciate
this
it.
was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Well,
coming.
this segment with with Carrie Friedman from Fashion Pursuit was brought to you by Work Out Your Wealth, promoting healthier and wealthier living through sound financial and wellness services.
We're in our final takeaway section, and I'll start it off with Doctor's Lowdown. So today I want to talk a little bit about tea. Now, it correlates a lot with what we actually are speaking about today because, we hear a lot about what? Women, all of Pinterest, Instagram, tea, weight loss tea,
Yeah,
and
skinny
so
tea.
forth. Skinny tea. Exactly. The problem with tea and that people don't talk about are the oxalates.
Okay.
Now I know it's a word a lot of us never heard, but oxalates are the product that actually mix with calcium to cause kidney stones. So and if anybody's ever had kidney stones and they always ask you, are you drinking a lot of teas?
Really?
Yes. And there's a lot of foods like avocado, things like that have a lot of oxalates. Well, the thing is that people, and I see it all the time in my own job, people will drink a lot of tea, a lot of tea, a lot of tea. And they're like, but you know what? Tea's mixed with water. The herbs are mixed with water, so I'm drinking water. No, you're mixing chemicals. Remember, so tea's good certain times of the day, right? And into a limit. It's all about balance.
It's all about balance.
So we want to
all about
reduce kidney stones because guess what that does? Helps our kidney function, period. And we really want to make sure that we're getting rid of the toxins in our system.
Great.
Awesome, awesome. This is Tony's takeaway. Remember we were talking about fads. All right, so fads pretty much are short-lived. Here's a way you can kind of trick those fads and make it work for you. I don't know if you ever heard of fartleks training. It was a fad back in the day with marathon runners to build their cardiovascular health, but it actually has a purpose too as well for losing fat. If you do fartleks, it's caused by sprinting and slowing down, sprinting again, slowing down. This can actually burn fat. Why don't you combine that with 8-minute abs? 8-minute abs has some good abdominal exercises. It was a fad, but it had some good abdominal exercises. Combine the both, you get a nice sculpting workout for your abs, and you burn a little fat too at the same time.
I love it. I'm going to try that one. All right, Karen's concept. Here's just a basic quick tip. It sounds obvious, but let's do it. Read the fine print on your financial products. I challenge each and every one of us to go back. If it's a simple 401k from work, just pull that 401k out, figure out how it actually works. 529 plan, figure out how it actually works. Life insurance, the same thing. Read the fine print. All right. Well, thank you once again to Ms. Carrie Friedman of Fashion Pursuit.
And yes, and as always, you can find us on blueprintradioshow.com. You can find our contacts, our links, social media as well, and previous videos. I want to thank Tamarina, Echo Media. Please follow this guy. He's amazing. Genobic, Work Out Your Wealth, Intuit Media Group, and Matthew Zakowski, attorney at law. Again, thank you, Mass Mutual Miami, for allowing us to have this show, iHeartRadio, and you can find us again, 880 iHeartRadio, blueprintradioshow.com. Don't miss out. We are giving some great news here.
Welcome to Tony's Tips. Today we're going to be going over an exercise that's great for your core as well as your glutes and your gluteus medius, all right? It's called a side plank, but what we're going to be doing a side plank at the same time we're going to be engaging our hips, all right, guys? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off in a traditional side plank. From here, we're going to keep our sides engaged the whole time through, and we're raising one leg up. Then we're going to drop our hips, and we're coming straight up, keeping our core engaged the whole time. I want you to do at least 5 to 10 just like this to get started, because it can be difficult in the beginning, but after a while you'll get used to it and you'll see your glutes and your gluteus medius and maximus are engaged while at the same time your core is working, all right? So try these 5 to 10 reps, taking about 10 to 15 seconds break in between 3 sets, and you'll see some serious results. All right, guys, that's another one from Tony's Tips. Have a good day.